Ed Tyll.
It is the Ed Tyll Show, Starcom Radio Network. Our first two guests of this hour are good friends of the Ed Tyll Show. And, man, we're in the thick of it now. August 1st, middle of summer. These kids are either coming back from camp or they never went, but they're starting to get bored. They're starting to be around and make noises a lot more often. And you say, well, hold on a second here. We're not going to let the kids ruin our summer, are we? You ever get that feeling? Your kids are like having the greatest life. They're having their summer romance, and you and your other half are looking at each other going, hey, how come we're not making out more? How come they're always under the yum-yum tree? Remember that old movie? Well, Poppy and Geoff Spencer are back with us today, parenting experts. This is a great skill that they possess. They are millennial translators. Hey, guys, welcome back to the Ed Tyll Show on Starcom Radio Network.
Hey, Ed, thanks for having us.
It's great to be back.
Same here, and nice to have you. We brought you in for the heavy lifting. We're right here in the middle of the summer. It's the middle. Summer's not new anymore. The plans of upcoming summer have all changed. They've all gone awry. We all look at each other and go, well, I guess this is summer right now. Plans or no plans. So what do we do with the teenagers?
Now, we have 5 millennials between us. I have 4. So I have transitioned safely through 4 teenagers, and Geoff as well. And what you would do with the teenagers is, and if you're kind of starting late here because it is August 1st, a lot of schools, especially here in Florida where we live, start in 2 weeks. So we don't do that after Labor Day thing like we used to when we were younger.
Morally against that. I don't think a book should open until Labor Day hot dogs are digested. I think there is a natural way for people to be. And I'm old, I'm 61. So I remember when they started yanking on that date. And you're right. They've got it so early in August that I think it's juxtaposed. But nonetheless, half of the audience, too, by the way, breathe a sigh of, oh, my God, they're out of here that soon? They're back at school that soon? So thanks for that good news. But I just had to editorialize on that. How early in August are some of them now back in?
I know in Florida, here where we live on the Gulf Coast of Florida, they start August 14th, less than 2 weeks.
Wow. So this could be the worst. I remember this as a kid. And I'll tell you what, Geoff, you might remember it. Boys, maybe a little bit more alpha back in the day. We were like, we didn't get enough done. I had stuff. What? It's how many days? Then you take all the things that you were going to do, put them on a no, that doesn't. And then true teenage anxiety sets in. All of a sudden you're growing up. You feel like your parents. I can't do enough in the amount of time. So pressure is on right now for interesting stuff, right?
Yeah, the summer reading. Oh, you didn't start your Great Expectations that you were supposed to read for summer reading? You're in trouble,
Exactly. You know what that means, right? By the way, you can tell I have a comment on everything you're bringing up, but that's when you have to go get the DVDs of these books for the last minute and Cliff Notes and the whole 9, because you look at the kid and go, look, well, let's be honest with each other. You're not going to read 7 books in the next 3 weeks, are you?
Yes.
No, I'm not. All right, so there'll be a lot of lawn cutting, a lot of garage cleaning to pay Dad off for helping you through. But yes, to your question, true. Right, we got a summer reading list hasn't been touched.
We do have tips for those so you don't let your kids hijack your summer vacation. A lot of families take vacations starting in August. This week, a lot of families will go away for a week or maybe just have a staycation. They'll do something at home. But it's a perfect time to set a structure in place for the upcoming school year, for a month from now or a few weeks from now, whatever that is.
And there's always opportunities, Ed, for volunteering. The social requirements for a lot of these kids now, both high school and getting ready to go to college and even in college, they're expected to do a lot of community service things. That's now almost become a standard fare. And there's lots of opportunities to volunteer. They might not be opportunities to get the jobs because they're pretty well probably already run their course and have been taken. But there are lots of opportunities to volunteer, so you can easily find those kind of things for people to do with usually find all kinds of resources that can direct you to how to volunteer.
How do you talk them into a school is starting? Give our listeners who are parents, grandparents, some conversation starters that don't get the, I don't want to talk about, too soon. You know, I mean, you want to start to open their mind a bit, but if you use the wrong words, they shut down like a garage door. Is there any good way to bring up?
That's a really good point. I'll tell you what we used to do is we always get the eye rolls. I mean, eye rolls are just part of the 12 to 17-year-old human being. And if you don't have an eye roll as a parent, if you don't get one, we feel that you're not really doing your job. Just dismiss the eye roll and you keep moving forward on whatever it is that you want to do. So a lot of times, here's what I used to do is on my birthday, which is in July, or Mother's Day or whatever, I would get our kids to either help clean out the garage or the basement, and that was my birthday present, and I would have them as a collective audience and get them to, while doing something that was meaningful or helpful, also get to start talking about those things that we're going to do in the fall. So, hey, tell me about that book. And you can even remember from your time when you were in school and, oh, yeah, I remember we read this book and this is what happened. And how do you think you'll go about it? And help them problem solve.
Boy, what a magical, magical.
And back to the aforementioned cleaning out the garage, we know kids love to do the garage sales when they get to keep the proceeds.
Yeah.
Bingo.
That gets them all
Wow.
excited.
Boy, you know what, boy, what a 1-2 punch that is right there. Number one, what a great, safe environment. You're working in the garage. You're all dirty, filthy. So if it is one of those things, you know, Mom, Dad, I wanted to tell you, but I didn't know what the right time was.
Yes.
That could settle in if it's early morning or an extended period that we're working on the garage, number one. But number two, Dad. See, again, Dad, the alpha, the money. Money.
Yeah, you get to keep it, pal. If
Money.
you sell the stuff, you get to keep the money.
That will never change, time and memoriam. Millions of years from now on other planets, parents will go, how much do we have to give them to do the garage or cut the lawn or how much of the proceeds? See, now I'm asking you, Dad, all of the proceeds or do they kick back to the house? So you guys can have 80%? 80%?
Usually this is usually not big stuff. You know,
Got it.
It's typically, unless you have some serious things you're selling in the garage sale, usually it's a lot of knickknack.
And watch all of their gaming systems go out the door, too. That was like, whoa, I get to keep 100% of this, and then they'll get the new gaming system that they want. And
very good. Now, what's the best time to bring up tough subjects in the summer that we know are going to confront in the fall? For example, you know, we've had 2 nightmare years of mathematics here. Geometry starts in 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. And that's worse than anything you've been through. So what are we doing? Do you want a tutor? Do you want me, your mom, to tutor? Those are not going to be pleasant because, again, they don't want to talk about it. But you have to bring it up because, you know, it's another school year. It's going to be a little more challenging to them. You got any suggestions for how to break into that academic organization, grade, expectation dialogue before the school year?
Yeah, I think the way you just brought it up was really great. And that conversation can happen this week as we go into Algebra 2 or geometry or trigonometry or whatever else it is, or what other subject. Maybe there's a biology or chemistry, physics that's too tough. You just say, hey, I have this great person that I know. I would not use the T word. I would not say the word tutor. It sends a subliminal message that my kid is dumb. I have this great person, and she's really a great mentor and enricher of information. And I'm going to have her come over about 6 times. I've already paid for it. And you get to pick when you want her to come, you know, maybe before a test or a project, and see when you want her to come. And let them be part of the decision-making process. But I wouldn't use the word tutor because it just sends them into a tizzy.
And another reframe I would suggest here too, Ed, the idea of everybody rolling their eyes about these mathematical. I used to love geometry. I thought it was a blast. It was something that was, to me, was very intuitive and easy and fun. And so I often try to reframe these things as, you know, not always that we all hate these things, that they can be interesting and fun, and put a positive spin on it.
You know, this is good. This is a good point, right?
Thing, and the other thing you can do, if you do get pushback, you can say, yeah, you and Joey are going to both come in, and we're going to have the tutor come to our house. So you get to hang out with Joey, and
Oh,
you get to have
good. Add somebody. Right.
mentor.
Right. Sure. Good. And then I think you're right, Dad. You always got to play the odds that even though the last 2 years of math were drudgery, this could be the breakthrough year. And now, personally, you got to keep a straight face, because if you're like me, you really, really hated geometry. So it'd be hard for me to sell that it's going to be volleyball when we get in there. But nonetheless, why not them enjoy it? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sure.
Well, the changing of schools. I got 2 emails on this when we said you guys are going to be on. Changing schools, starting over, really tough. Especially we have the middle school, right? We go to 7, 8, 9, and then you're ready to switch at 10. When the school generally starts them at grade 9, you're the new one in 10th grade coming in. Got any tips for how to arm them for the unknown? It's going to be new faces, going to be new environment, going to be a new build. Everything's going to come on so new. For a lot of kids, they just try to minimize and shut down. What can we do, or give advice, give a little pep talk, I guess is what we
I'll
need.
start one quick thing is try to find that comfort zone you're already very good at. I was always active with singing in high schools and middle schools. So, get active in that glee club organization, and you get an immediate family of like-minded people, or a club of some sort. That's always a great way just to break in and get an immediate group of compatriots.
All 4 of my children transitioned to different schools during different times of elementary, middle, and high school. All 4 of them. They all did really well because we arranged ahead of time to find out common people that we knew, maybe from church or from some other organization around town, community organization, and we would have them come in and maybe have them over, get to know the families. So you had this easy transition into a social group to begin with. And then, of course, they always have all the agendas and schedules and book materials online ahead of time, so you can get a preview of that, so you know what to academically expect for your kids, too.
And social media gives them another great venue. This is one of the things when we know we've talked about in other presentations. People go into college, they make it really easy for you to use social media as a way to befriend and find out who the people are.
Right on. If people are just joining us, you're going to want to know Poppy and Geoff Spencer. They've been with us before. Parenting experts, millennial translators, also the authors of the book, 1 Billion Seconds. There's still time to discover love. It's a #1 new release on Amazon, and you can go to www.relationalexperts.com. Get the book, reach out to them. The summer, it ends. Endings are tough for kids. We got to get the fall open and happening before they get sucked into the gravity of the end of summer, no?
Yes. That's a great way that you said that, Ed. So you want to know how to do that?
Right, exactly.
Question?
If you'll notice, I'm great at pointing out what needs a solution, and then I'm silent when it's a solution time. So, yeah, go right in. What can we do about that?
I know that from my 4 kids, honest to God, shopping for school supplies was right up there with buying dresses for prom. I had 3 daughters and a son. They love shopping for school supplies. I would take them to Target, give them their own gift card, let them do their own thing, let them go shop, get whatever backpack they want or book bags or supplies. You're not going to get the right spiral notebook anyway. Let them do that and give them some autonomy.
Right on. And
That's
again,
one thing.
And again, money is power, feels good, builds autonomy, in addition to what you were saying, pick out your own stuff. But it's still a good jolt of power in that right hand to be clutching that card. Yeah, go on. What's next?
This is a perfect opportunity for mom and dad to dial back their hovering and their attention and try and change that paradigm that you have. If you have that dynamic, what did you do at school today? Have you done your homework? And those sort of directive, kind of commanding questions, if they could just get rid of that and reframe and see your child with a wide-angle lens and go, hey, my kid's becoming independent and autonomous, and I'm going to step back a few steps.
Right.
And also make it clear to them that's what you're doing. It's like, hey, this is getting ready to happen. You better think about ways to get prepared. And, Poppy and I are ones that written things about it's okay to let your children fail. It's okay to let them spend a night in jail. Those kind of, they're extremes, but the idea is nothing like the school of hard knocks often to teach people what they really need to be focused on.
Wow, how good to mention that. Now, how tough for the parent to watch the failure.
I watched one of my kids leave a number 5 school in the country to go to a local school during a transition between junior and senior year in high school. And so I could have been like any other common mom or dad going into the principal's office and saying, or I could have gotten a tutor, or I could have, and I said, you know what, you're going to make this decision and I'm going to back off. It was a really good decision.
Tough.
As it turned out.
Exactly. Tough, but good. All right. Poppy and Geoff Spencer are our guests. It's the Ed Tyll Show, Starcom Radio Network, AM/FM stations all across America. I'm watching the clock here, so I want to save a couple of minutes. This is a very new subject, so you guys, the first ones I want to run it by in this context of parenting, teenagers, summer, the whole thing. Gender, the bathrooms, the hair, the piercings, the tattoos, the declarations, the statements of what I am, who I am, what I think I am, so-and-so is. Now, this was not unknown and unheard of in the 60s when I grew up in the Bronx. There was some, but it's gotten a crescendo today. And it's so easy to run into Walgreens, get some purple, that goes in there. Things happen. So when it gets to this stuff, let's begin a little mini segment without enumerating them all, but we all know what we see. What does a parent do when they think this wave is on the block? My kids haven't gone this way yet, but my God, I saw 3 houses down the other day. When that kid got in the car with the mother, I shuddered. I said, is this going to come 3 houses down?
It's like a disease spreading.
A little bit. I don't want to pick on them because I know that they're sincere and all their craziness. I do love these kids, but I don't want to raise a purple, pierced, tattooed, non-specific gender child. But the world is filling up like that. So how do we begin with these issues when they're around, but not at your house, but you're the mom, you're the dad. You got to know the world. You got to be prepared.
First of all, I think that's a great presentation that you just offered. I think what's so important is to understand why it is this way. This is really just an extreme version of what we used to do when going out on a Friday night, and you would empty your whole closet and you would try on all these clothes, especially women did that, young girls did that, and trying on different identities. And that's what this is all about, is just I'm reaching this age of puberty, maybe teenage years, and I'm trying to figure out who I am, where I fit in this great cosmos, and I'm going to try all of these things, all these different flavors of things that make up what we are as our identity. And I think that's what it is. So if parents could reframe that and say, this is just an experimental phase. It's not forever, and maybe it is. Maybe you will have a child that comes home and says, you know what? I was born a male or I was born a female. I know that, and I want to go through a sex change. And you may have that.
And then,
so what?
And then dad, first thing, reach for the red label, get me a big bottle of scotch.
Start drinking heavily,
and saying, Daddy will be out in 3 hours. We're going to go through all of this. But first, I'm going to numb and deaden my soul before. Anyway, I'm just kidding.
I know.
It's funny.
But I'm sure many parents have experienced that.
Sure. And I want to tie it into the title of the book. A lot of that, everything you said, Poppy, the onset of puberty, the masculinity, femininity, we really are watching them begin what's in your book title. They're beginning the road to discovery of love. They don't know what love looks like. They don't know what, do I want to look this way to be loved? Do I want to just be loved no matter how I look? All of these things hit them at adolescence, teenage, and summertime, last bastion of having these social get-together. Ooh, we're going to go over here. School's going to cramp that down a lot and keep you with the academics in the school building. Oh, I don't believe...
Summer love is always a great thing.
Absolutely. Indeed. And something, I can't wait till next time we get together. I want to talk about there's still time to discover love. I'm a great example. All right. I'm going to see my 94-year-old aunt, so I'm going to tell you guys what's going to happen. Next time we have you on the show, we can follow up on this and the title of your book, okay?
Hey, we're good sandwich generation.
Yeah, we've got a couple of our own that are in that age bracket.
So you can rock this subject with me next time.
Yeah.
But I want to lay it out there so you can gestate it until the next time we get together.
Yes.
Here's what's going to happen. 94-year-old Aunt Addie hasn't been visited for a while. She's still in the original neighborhood there. Her son lives nearby. But we're getting ready for every quarter or so, 12 weeks, we're going to go see Aunt Addie. Aunt Addie is the eldest at 94. My mom was older than Aunt Addie, but mom's passed. So you got Adeline, and then you've got my young aunt, who's 80, Aunt Florence. Now, all have had wonderful kids. Everybody's been married. Guess who the only bachelor, never married in this Italian family, still is and is demonstrably not homosexual?
Who is that?
Me. So I go in.
I was just going to say, is
that's
it
me.
you?
I'm always dating somebody. They always want to know. Blah, 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 blah. Now, they're going to hit me on this visit, which is going to happen a week from Thursday, on the 11th, I believe that is, or the 10th.
Oh, it'll be the number one dying
Ed,
wish.
do you have a girlfriend? Who's your girlfriend, Ed?
Oh, my God. They will start enumerating what happened to, we used to like her, what happened to. So
we liked her. She was very nice.
So I have said to them that I am not opposed to marriage and permanent love in my life. I just still haven't discovered it. And they go, oh, come on. You're 61 years old. What are you waiting for? The second coming? This is the world you got. There's been 7 billion people on the planet. You can't... So I want to discuss with you next time we come on that absolutely I could still find the love of my life. It would be as spectacular as discovering love ever is. Am I right? Even in my 60s?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
I know that. But my aunts are terribly uninformed on this. They think that there's like an hourglass running on poor Edward. And I go, it's not poor Edward. It's a joy to discover love. So anyway, we'll do that next time, talk about your new book. But thanks for talking about the teens today. Boy, I wish that a lot more parents were as, I don't know, you guys have a pretty strong constitution. It looks like you don't get rattled.
My kids, when they were younger, if they were fighting and crying and coming into my room and they knocked on the door and I'd say, are you bleeding? Do you need to go to the hospital? Do we need to call the pediatrician? No, go away.
Wow.
I mean, that's how I was a really...
Wow. That's beautiful.
A tough mom.
That is beautiful. You guys just know what you're doing. Millennial
translator.
translator.
Knows what she's doing. I just follow along real nicely, Ed.
You're a great student, aren't you? Aren't you an attentive student? I don't doubt it. Poppy and Geoff Spencer are the authors of 1 Billion Seconds. There's still time to discover love. #1 new release on Amazon. For more information, go to
www.poppyandgeoff.com.
Oh, do you prefer that?
Even easier for people. Just Poppy and Geoff and mine. I'm a Geoff.
Excellent. So we'll do that one. www.poppy, Poppy, and A-N-D, Geoff, Geoff.com.
Yep.
Correct.
Perfect. Well, anyway.
And Ed, I have one more dying wish here for you before you go visit Aunt Eddie, is that we can be soon as wonderful and entertaining and as engaging as you are.
We're having a blast.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Well, I'll tell you what, I cannot wait to have you back here. I will be honored to join you anytime on your show in Sarasota, and it's always a pleasure. Congratulations on your success. You know, I do want to say your mastery of understanding these dynamics is invaluable. You know, once upon a time, your average adult was somewhat ready for parenthood. Today, there's such a deficit sometimes with the two working professionals, 14-hour days. Congratulations on what you've been able to do for them to give them a roadmap and give them help.
Thank you. and that's a little bit in our book too, is about blended families and
how to make that work.
How to make it good. So thank you, Ed, so much. We've enjoyed our time with you.
You guys are awesome. Thank you again. Poppy and Geoff Spencer. Go to poppyandgeoff.com. Thanks again. Wow. I love that. Well, I love them because, they have it like together. When we were kids, that was like a big expression. Do people have it together? It doesn't mean you know every single answer to every single question, but do you have it together? Yeah, mom and dad. Great examples. If teens are a challenge in your household right now, please reach out to Poppy and Geoff Spencer. Enjoy them, and we look forward to having them back on Starcom Radio Network, AM/FM stations all across America. News, weather, traffic, sports, the upcoming close on Wall Street are all next.